Hey y'all, it's me, Yate Latte, and I'm back with season 5, episode 10, Insecure series finale episode review. And y'all, I cried. I'm just putting it out there. I cried at this episode. I also cried in the documentary that they, shared afterward. Like, I'm in my feelings, which is why it's taken me so long to even want to record a review, because I'm just like, nah. And that's just the power of great TV and storytelling. So, big ups to the whole Insecure crew, Issa Rae. Like, y'all did your shit, because your girl was in her feelings. Still am. Like, I kind of think about it and I'm like, dang, like, I can't believe this shit's done now. All right, so let's get into it. So, the last season, the finale episode, has the girls coming together around their birthday. So the episode starts off literally right after the whole shebang at Tiffany and Derek's party. So Nathan is dropping Issa at home, and they're in the car, and Issa's like, "Can we come in and talk?" And Nathan's like, "Nah, like, I don't like the way this feels," and he pretty much breaks up with her. Now, as I have been Team Nathan, from the jump, I felt sad, but also as like a grown up, when it's time to call it quits, it's time to call it quits. And if you feel a situation is just bucking up against your boundaries to a point where you feel shitty, like, it makes sense to end it. I was really sad, but also I'm like, yo, I'm sorry. If you're not someone that's like prone to anger and fights, and you're like fighting for someone, like, that's a wake-up call. And I think Nathan had his wake-up call. Like, you might love Issa and Issa might love you, but she doesn't love you as much as she loves Lawrence, and that is a hard pill to swallow. So Issa goes in the house. She's all sad. Mirror bitch is not being supportive or helpful. And, so she goes to bed, whatever, doesn't even change. Molly comes over the next day and, is like, brings food and stuff. And she's like, oh, dang, like, you really wanted to be alone. And, she's just like, you're going to get through this and you guys will get through this, right? So fast forward, it's Issa'S birthday. Koya, I believe is her name. Issa's assistant is like at Crunch On's spot, like, yo, there's like a pipe burst, blah, blah, blah. And it turns out it's actually a birthday party for Issa. And Koya and Molly worked together to put it together. And Koya said people should donate to the block, and they got like a ton of great donations. So all in all, it's a great birthday. Issa, Molly and Kelly are trying to get Issa some birthday D, and everything is going well until Nathan rolls up. So I'm not gonna lie, I was shocked Nathan would roll up, because you broke up with our girl Issa, and Issa's my girl. I might be Team Nathan, or I was Team Nathan, but y'all are broken up now, and Issa, is living her best life. So Nathan shows up. He like provides a donation and a birthday card from the crew at the barbershop, and him and Issa are talking, and he's like, I said some things I didn't mean, blah, blah, blah. And Issa's just like, people come into your life for a reason, and, you just kind of have to be okay with that. And I really liked that statement, because one of the reasons why I loved Nathan for Issa was that Nathan really encouraged Issa when she was so low, and like none of her friends were even like taking her seriously or really like understanding her struggle. Nathan's the one that encouraged her to like fill out the forms for the block party. He was with her all the steps of the way to get that done in a way that none of her friends at the time were doing. I also feel like he kind of gets Issa and supports her, but at the same time, like, he has his things he's going through. And clearly, he recognized that Issa still had feelings for Lawrence. So I was a bit pissed off when he came back and kind of was almost like testing the waters to see if him and Issa could have another go. Like, nah, I'm sorry. First time you walk off because you had your like mental health issues, fine. Next time you like are kind of mad at Issa because she was flip-flopping, also fine. All right, now you're fighting for her love in a tussle at a party. All right, I get it. You're going to walk away because it's like clear that this is not for you. But you can't come back now after having all these feelings and blah, 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 blah. Like, yes, everyone processes, but you broke up. It's done. It's done. So that's the end of Nathan and Issa. And I'm not mad at it. Listen, I love Issa and Nathan together, but mainly I hate Lawrence. So catch my vibes. So Issa's birthday party after that, you know, Molly hooks her up with a guy. That's like her boo. And then we fast forward to the next birthday, and I believe it is it's Molly's birthday. So Molly's birthday, Torian, the two women from their law firm, and Torian's family and friends, and Molly's family and some friends are at her place. They're celebrating Molly. Molly hates having birthdays. And it was really sweet. We meet Kelly's new boo. Issa's like kind of hype up Molly to like get ready. And Tiffany shows up and we're happy to see her. So, you know, the girls had kind of talked about keeping in touch with each other, and this is like a great way to do so, right? You're trying to show up for people's birthdays. So Molly's stressed because, you know, she doesn't like celebrating herself, but also like Torian and his family and friends. And this is just getting more serious for her, and she has anxiety about it. But like Issa pep talks her through. She celebrates with her family, including her mom, and we're Gucci. One of the things I forgot to mention, like after the breakup with Nathan, Issa was like, you know, in the mirror, like, I just want to fast forward to the part of my life where everything is okay. And that's such a great, like, that's a feeling that we all have, right? I've had that feeling several times, you know, it's just like, when is everything going to be okay and make sense? So after Molly's birthday, we fast forward and we are at Tiffany's. So the girls are heading to head to Tiffany's place in Denver. Tiffany's showing them her house. It's gorgeous, but clearly Tiffany hates it in Denver. And I don't blame her. Why would you really, like, moving from LA to Denver sounds horrible. I've been to neither, but like, you know, I've been watching Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, and I'm not feeling it. So, you know, Tiffany's kind of talking about how, like, she doesn't really know anyone. The baby is in preschool, but she's like the only black kid. And she's just feeling away, but she's so happy the girls, you know, are visiting her. So as the girls are visiting, you know, Molly's working. They like tease Issa about her new boo. It's really sweet. And again, just the strength of friendship. I really just enjoy that. Like, you know, I have my besties, and it's just nice to know that you can have a great time with your friends even when there's distance. And so Issa comes in the kitchen while Molly's working, and she sees a picture in Tiffany and Derek's kitchen of the Papa Posse with, you know, all the guys and their babies, which of course includes Lawrence and baby Elijah. And Molly notices this and asks her, like, you know, if Nathan wasn't there, like, how would you have responded to Lawrence? And Issa's like, no, like, I wouldn't have done anything. And Molly's like, really? And she kind of, like, Molly kind of just says, like, you know, you should, if Lawrence would make you happy, like, you should go for it. Like, don't let someone else's, like, opinion prevent you from getting what you want. And then of course we get a call. Molly gets a call, and it turns out her mom has passed away. So then fast forward to the next birthday. It is Kelly's birthday, and so at the birthday, Tiffany and Derek are there. Issa comes with her new boo, who's very fine, and they had met kind of like online, and you know, they're dating. It's good. And Kelly has her boo, and she announces she's having a baby, and you know, Issa's like, oh, like, you had said you didn't want kids, and Kelly's like, yeah, but then, you know, like, I met this guy and it just made sense. And so we kind of get that as well, where it's like, you know, people are changing their minds, they're growing, and you can tell Issa's really, really feeling this. So Issa and the fine boo go home. Issa is wearing some banging lingerie, and Mira bitch is like, girl, like, everything's good, da da da. And Issa's kind of like, I don't know. And then Lawrence is calling, and Mira bitch is like, don't answer it. And Issa doesn't answer it, right? But she doesn't look happy. She looks stressed. Like, her not answering that call and like her going with this really fine guy is just not enough. Like you can tell she is not happy with that. And so we don't get to see anything about Molly and her mama, and that really sucks to me, because earlier in the season we literally had a whole episode of Molly being in the hospital with her family and like all this stuff. So to not see any of that, that really sucked. And then we fast forward to Lawrence's birthday. So Issa calls him, he answers, and she's like, oh, I'm surprised you answered. And it was just like an awkward call in the Issa awkward black girl way. And, you know, someone is like calling Lawrence or like at the door, and she's like, all right, I'll let you go. And then we see that it's another girl that Lawrence is dating. Lawrence is on his usual BS in my mind. So then we fast forward again to Molly's birthday. So it's like another year now. And Molly and Torian are still dating, and Torian's taking her on a surprise vacation for her birthday. And, you know, Molly's just like, you know, like it really sucks that my mom isn't here. Like we just celebrated last year. And Kelly now works with Molly. So one of the threads like that have followed was, you know, Kelly had said she didn't want to work for the white man anymore and help them make more money. And she had helped Molly's parents with their estate planning. And so it seems as though Molly has been persuading Kelly to drop the white people, come to her firm, and like, you know, they're interested in having an estate department. And it turns out that it actually happened. So Kelly like did it. She works at the firm now doing estate management, and like that's fucking amazing. I love to see it. So, you know, so Kelly's at Molly's work, like, girl, don't forget the thing I told you. If you black out, then it went well. If he blacks out, call for help. And I'm like, I just love Kelly giving birthday sex advice. Like Kelly's character, I genuinely wish we got more about her life and her backstory, because her character was just the funniest. And like outside of the show, when you watch the documentary and just like read the tweets, like a lot of Kelly's lines are improvised, which just goes to show her great comedic timing. Like I cannot wait to see what Natasha Rothwell does, because this is fucking amazing. So anyways, and you know, Issa's telling Molly like, you know, we'll have dinner when you get back. And I just want to like pause here and kind of show like when Kelly was having her birthday, Molly wasn't there. But you know, like now Molly is having a birthday and it's like not with the girls per se, and everyone's just, you know, being an adult, that's like the one thing I feel like people don't talk about when you transition in life. Once everyone is like working full time, you know, has a family, has a boo, it just gets harder and harder to do things as a group. Now we are at the moment where, you know, Issa is in her new office with the block, so we know she decided to do her own thing and not go with NBW, like as maybe being hired by them. Who knows, maybe like she, you know, they'll still collaborate, but Issa has her own office. It's looking cute. She's like decorating. I'm so proud. And Issa, I guess Lawrence comes by, I guess she invited him, and they're talking. And to summarize, because, you know, they decide to have a great snugging session, but Issa tells Lawrence that she's willing to try and see where it goes. And so then we fast forward to Italy, because Molly and Torian are getting married, which is amazing. Like literally Molly's arc, amazing. Now the only thing I have to say though is Molly was living her best life with her short natural cut. I've been there. Baldy life is baddie life. But like, why is she wearing wigs again? And like not the greatest wigs? That kind of threw me off. Like she cut her hair. I don't know. Is it like a thing for us? Like when we cut our hair, like what are we trying to say? Anyway, so Molly and Torian are getting married. Molly looks amazing. All the girls are there. And it's just so heartwarming. You know, they have a little memorial for her mom. Like there's like a little side thing. Tiffany's pregnant again. We don't see Kelly and her boo's baby, but based on Twitter, apparently their baby was supposed to be in the scene, but like the baby was fussy, so they couldn't shoot the baby. Like they decided not to have that scene. But yes, Kelly's baby is there, and it's just a great time with the girls. And honestly, the best part of this whole episode, and what I feel really tied the whole series together, was when Issa is helping Molly get out of her wedding dress, and Molly's like thanking Issa for being there for her, for being her friend, for giving her the space. Y'all, I was bawling my eyes out, okay? Like, I'm like, yo, this is what this shit's about. I was crying, honestly. It makes me even just feel a way now. Like, Issa and Molly's relationship, like, they've been through it, but the fact that they've stuck together and, you know, sisters, we're doing it for ourselves. I don't know, like, it's just so good. I'm so, so happy that they got to have this moment, that they repaired their friendship, you know, and they're able to do it. Because honestly, Molly had been tripping. Like, Issa hadn't always been the best friend, but Issa was never like tripping the way Molly was tripping. So I'm happy they mended their relationship, because this scene was just worth it. Like, to me, if they ended the show in that scene, I would have been fine. Honestly, like, if they had ended the show with that scene, I would have been good. So at the wedding, lo and behold, who's there? Lawrence is there wearing a turtleneck in Italy. I was like, isn't it a bit warm for that? Like, honestly, you know, I'm a Lawrence hater, so fine. And so after that, you know, we see Issa at the block, just kind of looking around, enjoying her success. She gets in her Lexus. Ooh, I saw her. She's like driving through the neighborhood, and you see all the old spots where everything started. You know, when Issa was at the convenience store buying underwear because she was sleeping on Molly's couch, the Best Buy, like just the taco spot, the dunes. And she gets home to Lawrence and baby Ja, who's now a toddler or like a 3-year-old, and they're saying happy birthday to her. They like decorated a cake. And, you know, Issa goes in the bathroom and she's like looking at herself, but there's no mirror bitch anymore. She adjusts her lip gloss, and we see that she has a ring on her hand. So her and Lawrence are engaged, and she lives in a fabulous house. And that's how it ends, y'all. Issa is no longer insecure. She's living her best fucking life, and we love to see it, y'all. Even though I don't love Lawrence for her, it doesn't matter. If Issa's happy, then we're happy, right? We support our friends. This is what she wants, what she gets. She got everything she deserved and more, and I am just so happy on the way it ended. So, y'all, finale had me in my feelings. And even talking about it right now, like, I'm in my feelings, because, like, definitely the feelings are abound. So while I loved the finale, I actually feel like the finale tied up all the loose ends in a way that, while it's not my favorite ending, like, it's like, I didn't expect her and Lawrence to get engaged, and I kind of thought she would end up like on her own and successful, but secure in that, like, she's got this. So yeah, I didn't think that she would end up with Lawrence. I didn't want her to, but hey, they did, and that didn't ruin it for me. I think they did a good job. I do feel, though, you know, some light critique. I feel like this whole season should have just been the birthdays. Like, why didn't they do that for the whole season? They had enough birthdays to go through it so we can see, you know, like, more about Tiffany, more about Kelly and the baby. Like, I would have loved to see Kelly and her experience with motherhood, and her working at the black law firm for the state division that she's pretty much like started from scratch. I would have loved to see that. I would have loved to see Molly, you know, with her mom passing and her relationship with Torian growing, and like, was she a bridezilla for the wedding? Like, I would have loved to see all of that. Even like how Issa and Lawrence like came back together and how they made it work. Like, I just kind of feel that for the first 8, like the 8 episodes of the season were kind of just like, they moved at the pace of a season that wasn't ending, and also gave us like insight into things that I don't think really made sense as an effective use of time. So I think that's my main criticism, is just that the concept of the birthdays was amazing, and they should have just done that for the whole season. But, you know, I'm not a TV writer. I'm like also not great at writing stories myself. So listen, that's just my opinion personally. If you loved it, I'm happy you loved it, but I do feel like this season was like, for the first 8 episodes were just dry in comparison to the last 2. But anyways, I loved it. I'm happy that they were able to wrap it up. I'm happy they're able to go on a high note. So many shows get canceled, or they just drag on and on and on, and you just lose interest. I'm happy that they were able to end the show on their own terms. I'm super happy that like all of these people are now going on to do amazing things. Like Natasha Rothwell has has a deal with a big network. Like all these people who were kind of unknowns to us and in the industry are now in a position where they can go off and do amazing things and hopefully create more TV that we want and love to see. So this is the end of Insecure, guys. It was a good time. I enjoyed reviewing it. I'm gonna miss the show. Guys, we're happy. I'm proud. I cried. I'm still emotionally, feeling it, but thank you. Insecure was fucking amazing, and I'm happy that I'm alive in a time where this show is on and we have Twitter and, these things have really come up and people have shown up and shown out. All right, ciao. Bye.